Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's last post ceremony. My name is Lexa Peterson, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is leading aircraftman Mark Odell. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Club Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of St Margaret's Primary School from Maribyrnong, Victoria. Australia's Federation Guard is the tri-service ceremonial unit of the Australian Defence Force. They provide a ceremonial presence at civil and military events and during visits to Australia by foreign dignitaries. The Guard will now dismount the catapult party from the tomb of the unknown Australian soldier. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the national anthem.
Careful party! Attention! Careful party! Reason up!
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We
The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where families and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed at the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved, and here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight we will read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first we present a lament, Flowers of the Forest. Wreaths or floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today, we remember and pay tribute to Trooper Lyle Joscelin Chase. Lyle Chase was born on the 17th of October 1879 in Nebo, Queensland. He was the eldest of 5 children born to grazier Richard Chase and his wife Jane. Lyle grew up on a large remote cattle station where his father worked and was educated at home alongside his siblings. As a young adult, his family relocated to Liano Station, a sheep farming property near Walgett in far north New South Wales, where his father was the station manager. Lyle helped on the property and learned to become a confident horseman. He took on the role of a station overseer in 1913, when his father retired from the position, and was working in the capacity when the First World War broke out in 1914. Lyle Chase enlisted in the Australian Imperial Force on the 2nd of July in 1917, alongside his younger brother, William. The brothers were allocated to reinforcements of the 6th Light Horse Regiment and began a short period of training in Australia. In February 1918, Lyle acted as best man to his brother's wedding before the two embarked for active service on the troopship Ormond 2 weeks later. After several weeks at sea, Lyle and William Chase arrived in Egypt. Having contracted measles on board the ship, they were sent to hospital and did not join the rest of the unit until June 1918. Their arrival at the front came in the wake of raids at Amman in February and assault in May, after which the 6th Light Horse was engaged in holding the lines around the Jordan Valley. During this period, they spent time patrolling as well as skirmishing with Ottoman and German forces in the desert. The valley was incredibly inhospitable for the troops, with temperatures of more than 50 degrees Celsius, high humidity and dust, as well as large presence of flies, mosquitoes, and scorpions. The conditions in the Jordan Valley left the troops vulnerable to endemic diseases such as malaria, which was crippling for their already depleted units. In July 1918, Chase's unit helped to repulse the enemy's attempts to retake the Jordan Valley and Jericho. Allied forces then set their sights on the Syrian capital of Damascus, seeking to take multiple ports along the coast while pushing the enemy out of Palestine. Chase's regiment remained in the Jordan Valley while its counterparts were sent west towards the coast. In order to convince the enemy that the Allies intended to attack across the Jordan Valley, Chase and his comrades were engaged in building dummy camps and horse lines. The efforts were deceptive the enemy into believing there was a much larger force preparing to attack there, while a much larger advance was beginning to take place along Palestine's coast. On the 19th of September, the Megiddo offensive began, pushing the Ottoman and German forces towards Syria. The Chase's brothers were part of the advance to catch Amman, which days after heavy fighting fell to the Allies on the 25th of September 1918. These series of defeats culminated in the total surrender of the Ottoman Empire weeks later, with the signing of the Armistice of Mudros on the 30th of October 1918. However, the war continued to rage on in Europe. Chase and his comrades continued regimental duties and were engaged in regular training exercises over the weeks which followed. But time in Jordan Valley has taken its toll on Chase's health. In early November, he was sent to the hospital for treatment. It was discovered that he was suffering from malaria and pneumonia. His condition slowly declined, and as the rest of the world celebrated the declaration of peace on 11th of November 1918, Triple Lyle Chase died on the final day of the war. He was laid to rest shortly after, and now lies at the Ramleh War Cemetery beneath the simple inscription chosen by his family. Duty nobly done. Lyle Chase was 41 years old. His name is listed on the honour roll on my right among almost 62,000 Australians who died while serving the First World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of many stories of sacrifice and service told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Trooper Lyle Joscelin Chase, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms and the hopes for a better world.
Careful, boy! Shoulder, arms!
They shall not grow old, for we to the left to grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we shall remember them.
We will remember them.
Therefore pay! Reason! Arms! Therefore pay! Shoulder! Arms!
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Therefore pay! In woods! Turn! Therefore pay! Quick! March!
We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozieres or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over, but in Australia they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of the Director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support during the Memorials Development Project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.